Hey guys, welcome to the Talk Nerdy to Me podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Kirk, and this is the podcast where we talk about all things nerdy.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy some tech talk.
Whoa, what's that? Is that a new MacBook Pro? It is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Look
Welcome,
at that.
welcome back to the Talk Nerdy to Me podcast. It's episode number 14.
Oh my god. Number 14.
Yeah, 14 episodes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with
We've
that.
made enough money that I could buy a new laptop.
Yeah. Where's my money? What do you mean? How much money have you got?
May have set up the AdSense to come to me.
Darn it.
Just kidding, there's no ads.
And no money. But we have gotten more followers, and we're more viewers.
More viewers, we're consistently growing in viewers, so thank you to everyone who's watching.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
Really excited.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that there's no ad stuff either because we use Anchor for distributing the podcast, the audio file, of course. We do upload a YouTube video, but we also distribute the audio file to all different sorts of podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Kind of gets
Podcasts.
everywhere.
It gets pretty well everywhere you can get podcasts. But then also on Anchor, that's where we distribute from, because it's makes it super easy for doing it.
It's like a one-click upload type thing.
Exactly. You upload it there, and it uploads everywhere.
Yep.
Right. It distributes automatically. So we've been doing there, and they've just announced a new feature where they actually help you get brand deals, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I
think we're far away from it because we haven't got a big audience or anything yet, and they know that.
We've got like 6 months to a year to infinity. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe forever.
But they actually take the data of what your podcast is about and everything like that, and actually try to match you to brands, stuff that would actually make sense for your podcast. So it's pretty neat.
Does Apple do any brand work? Any brand ambassading work? Like, do they?
Only to a small extent.
Probably like under the table. Like Apple's one of those companies that are like
comes out of Ireland.
Yeah.
All their money that got in Ireland.
Oh man.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Apple does do some small brand stuff. They work with some photographers for all their shot on iPhone photos and stuff like that, of course. And they do work with some tech YouTubers, so that kind of works out as a brand deal in a way.
Yeah.
Tech creators.
A lot of like big tech creators prefer to stay like not associated with bigger ones.
They don't. I guess they don't really do brand stuff, but they give them early access the way a lot of other brands do. They've started doing that in the past year or two, which is really good that Apple's getting in on that too, because they realize that
it makes sense. Like
that's where people are looking for information so much. They don't go specifically to tech websites. They're gonna watch MKBHD or iJustine or.
I mean, somebody at
Jonathan
Apple's
Morrison.
listening because that Mac Mini was a big surprise. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Good news.
People are listening, and people are listening. The MacBook Air. People wanted an upgraded MacBook Air.
Yep.
So
we talked about it as it not really making sense, I think, a couple podcasts ago. And we've had some time to reflect on that.
I think it definitely does make sense.
Yeah, I think the base model...
It almost made sense for me.
Yeah. And I think
came very close.
Like, the base model MacBook Air, $1399 for a consumer makes sense. I think it's a better, like, device than the 12-inch, especially price points. The 12-inch really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. The only way that makes sense if you're looking for the absolute most portable laptop.
Money's no object. You just want something that's not going to break on you and is really tiny. Then yes, go for it. But like for a student, the Air
is the
$13.99
by far the
Canadian.
best for the average student.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's what you have to keep in mind.
Word processing, things like that. That's why MacBook Air was so popular before. Was really popular with students.
Yeah, it's cheap but still has the same quality and most of the same features.
Build quality is a big thing where that gets ahead, and that's why it's a bit more expensive than most other laptops. Yeah. Is that it's all aluminum chassis, that kind of stuff.
But this is a 2012. Your Air is a 2012, and it still has value, and it still works fine. Yeah. And they've seen yours has seen daily use for years.
Exactly. So. I've been using that for a long time. Now I wouldn't say daily use anymore. Well, at least I guess since I haven't been going into class, I guess.
Yeah, which has only been like
the past. Well, I guess I haven't been going regularly for the past year or so.
Yeah.
Not every day type thing. But it's still like it can handle like everyday use for a few hours, and like I said, web browsing, word processing, that kind of stuff. It has absolutely no trouble with. I've run everything on this. I've run virtual machine.
Everything, yeah.
Like I've run virtual machine running Windows 10 with SolidWorks.
I remember we were in the lab and like I don't know what computer I had.
I remember we were in class one time.
Yep.
We were sat at the back of the class. There was like maybe 10 people in the class, and the four of us in our group were at the back.
Yeah.
And I had my laptop out. And I was doing a thing for this project that we had to do in AutoCAD.
Yep.
And I remember, well, it essentially used all 4 gigs of the RAM, and then some to run.
Whatever it could get. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would make one chamfer on this thing that we were making, and we'd wait a few minutes.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd just be like, is it done yet? No. But and it's funny because I actually almost bought a MacBook Air. Probably, I think it was because you had the MacBook Air. I was looking at it before university started. Mm-hmm. I actually was this close to buying one. I was on a trip to Ontario. It was the thing I was going to buy.
Yeah.
It would have been that year. It would have been that exact model. But
Same model, essentially. Yeah.
I went away from it. I don't know what made me go away from it, but I was like, concerned that Mac and engineering courses wouldn't mix, which but there's boot camp.
Literally the only thing is SolidWorks. That's the only thing I ever ran into.
Yeah,
was SolidWorks,
and you can get workarounds with that.
Exactly, because I used AutoCAD later on, and you can get AutoCAD for Mac.
And if you were gonna go with boot camp,
it would run a lot better on boot camp if I'd done that. But I didn't really want to do a boot camp, so I bought Parallels for $80 instead.
Yeah, seemed like a good idea at the time, I guess.
Yeah. Safe to say, I've recently deleted Parallels off of both of my machines.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of gave up on Windows 10. Like the only reason why I wanted Windows 10 on this is for the massive game library I have. Mm-hmm. I don't play games anymore that much.
And there's enough games available on Mac that you can get by, right?
Like the other thing, it's almost kind of a good thing for me because I get sucked in. Like I will sit there and play PUBG for like not even hours, like weeks, like just weeks of playing PUBG. I streamed. Like, I was a pretty big gamer, and that's what I did, and I built a lot of PCs, like, that was my thing, but I did the streaming, and then at the end of the month of my streaming, I was growing really good, like, it was going pretty consistent.
It was a normal, like, good growth, yeah.
Absolutely, I was like, 10
I think we should
followers.
Stream together.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I looked back, and I was like, oh my god.
Specifically, like, only, like, stream when it's 2 of us. I think we should do that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But I realized like how many hours I was putting in gaming, and I was like, "Okay, that's it. I sold it." Like that. Like the day after I looked at my month statement for like Twitch, I was like, "No, gone. Out goes the gaming PC." But
I'm getting a call.
Oh, I was coming from the Mac. Oh yeah. Okay,
I'm gonna have to miss the call. We'll call back in a few minutes.
Yep. Give him 20 minutes. We'll call him back. That's for supper. Go eat some supper. We were a bit delayed today.
I can't tell who it is because it's my sister because she's calling from the house phone.
Yeah.
She's the only one home, I would say.
Cool.
You go on with your thing. I'll text her.
Okay, yeah. I stopped gaming. So I kind of gave up on putting Windows 10 on that. It's giving me some issues until I get the new graphics card in there. And it's just, I don't use it for anything, so it's not a big deal. But I do have the RAM upgrade in since last episode. I've got 24 of 32 gigs. I left 8 gigs with my friend, the guy I bought it off, but I left it for him so he could still use the system. But the 24 is in there. Mm-hmm. And the next big thing, the graphics card I had ordered is on back order, so I'm kind of rotted about that. I do want to wait for that specific one because Apple specifically states that this one works.
Yeah, it works.
So I'm just, it was no more expensive or anything, so I'll just wait for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And other than that, the CPU is the last thing to really upgrade, besides storage, but that can come as I need it, so not too worried about
beast.
It is, yeah. I'm pretty excited. And it's running amazing right now as is, so.
Yeah. We kind of started off talking about the laptop, but we didn't actually get into what it is.
Yeah, we didn't.
Okay.
No, right.
So this is kind of a big topic.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a small topic in comparison, though. Like it's got a nice
little slim topic.
Like it's too bad the angles don't catch it, but like there's a half a fingernail of difference.
That's a huge difference.
It is
in size. So this is the 2017. I didn't go for 2018, mostly because I didn't want to pay for the touch bar because the touch bar is expensive.
And I don't value it.
And I don't see the benefit to it. The only
it's shorter.
The only benefit I see to the one with the touch bar is the same as with the MacBook Air now, is the Touch ID.
Yeah.
But that's such a minor thing for me.
You can use your phone.
I really don't see a benefit to it at this point in time. It'll certainly be a useful thing when that's on all of them.
Yeah. And
I have no choice but to have them.
Yeah, it's just not worth the extra couple $100. So, well, it wasn't. No, not necessarily the extra couple $100. You were sacrificing performance to go to the Air. So
exactly, and that was the big difference was that I was. That's why I decided to go with the Pro.
And we had talked about this in our thing. It's like it's such a close price point to the Air that it's like they're keeping this in the lineup.
I got enough difference out of this. Now, I looked at it this way. If I was doing absolutely zero to do with like video or anything like that, I would have gone with the Air.
Just save some money and
I would have saved a couple $100 and
a couple grams of weight. They're both tiny. Like that Mac Pro is
the weight
small.
Isn't the big thing, like because it's such a small difference.
Yeah,
the size is pretty well the same.
Yeah.
It would have been just with a save a couple $100.
Yeah, put it towards lenses or something like that. But
something, right?
I think the other thing is that like this is probably going to last you just as long as the Air lasted you, or close to it. Like you're going to be on this machine for the next 3, 4, 5 years, hopefully. Maybe we'll see.
Probably longer unless I have some reason why I need more.
Yeah. So it'll last. That's the thing with Apple devices. Like I've never had any other company or any other product that just is as reliable and kind of pays for itself over time. The expense up front, especially in their laptops, maybe their phones are like arguable. You get lots of great phones from lots of companies, but laptop wise, I've never had anything that is the build quality of this 2012 Mac Pro, let alone something competing with something 2018. It's still better than a lot of it. So definitely worth it. But yeah, you have that. So you wanna go through the specs?
Let's run through the spec list. I'll just pop it up here so I don't miss anything. So this is the 13-inch 2017, 2 Thunderbolt, 3 ports. So it's not the 4, it's only the 2. That's what you get without the touch bar. With the touch bar, you get the 4. But I think I'm best kind with this. So again, the processor in this one is the 2.3 gigahertz Intel Core i5. There is an upgrade to a slightly faster 2.5 gigahertz Intel Core i7. Yep. I decided not to go for that because this is so much faster already than my Air that I have. It's not quite to the same speed as what my iMac is because I think that's a 3.5 gigahertz core.
Quad core
i5.
Yeah. And
this is only a 2.3 gigahertz dual core i5.
And so mobile versus desktop too.
Yeah. So it's definitely not quite there, but it's definitely a whole lot faster than what my Air was. Right. Huge jump. And
we were talking about this quite a bit because for somebody that this was their only device, it might make more sense to go to something a little more powerful. But the majority, if not all of your like intensive work is going to be done on iMac.
Exactly. Yeah. Like most of my video editing and all that stuff and like everything I'm getting into is on the iMac.
Yep. And if you're in a jam or you're on a trip or whatever, this is more capable.
This is huge. This is so much better than my MacBook Pro for traveling. That is one big thing. I was like, since I'm so into doing photo and video now, compared to what I had been in the past,
it's something
I was really nervous about actually trying to do that stuff on the go on my MacBook Air. I mean, we went out and did a bunch of photos actually. A couple months ago we did, and then we came back here and just did some edits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this MacBook Air was very slow trying to do those edits.
Yeah.
Right. So and I've done a couple things since that made me really want to get a better laptop, so I had something better for on the go, even though that's not my main machine. Right. That's what made it so hard for me to bite the bullet and go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Was that it's not my main machine.
No, and that's why it doesn't quite make sense for you to go up to anything else, and it made sense to go with this over the Air still specifically.
I wanted to go with something that would be enough, and would be enough for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. Like I looked at it and I'm like, well, I bought a laptop I didn't buy it myself. I got it, for a birthday or whatever. But almost 6 years ago. Then 3 years ago, I got my iMac.
Yeah.
And now I've got this one. So probably in another 3 years, I'll upgrade my iMac. iMac Pro.
I've gone through a lot of systems in that time. Like comparatively, my Windows laptops, I've gone through so many. Now the thing with mine is like they all broke.
Yeah.
Like they all broke, with the exception of my Alienware laptop. And the only reason why I ever had an Alienware laptop is because I had my desktop up for trade because I was wanting to do some gaming on the go, and I was traveling a lot with work. And I ended up getting offered a really great Alienware.
I'm excited to see what this does to Fortnite.
If you can
newest
run
updates.
If you can run it,
my Air could run it.
Yeah, so you can 30 FPS. I'll be okay. Like
I think I'll get more.
Yeah.
I think I'll get 60.
You think?
Honestly.
I'm excited. We'll see.
We're going to find out.
We'll have to update them on that.
Yeah. I'll have to.
But that was why I had the Alienware. I would never buy an Alienware. Like, that was like a $2,800 machine, and it was like chunky and big. It was wicked.
That's what I find about Alienware is like it's really great performance, but they're so big.
Oh, and they're ugly. Like, it's such a, like, I'm not a big, like, I don't like the gamer aesthetic. Like, I like a sleek, slim, like, it looks good kind of thing. That was not that, but it was great for gaming. Like, that was a tank. I was able to stream from it, no doubt about it. I sold it because I stopped traveling and it made sense to have a desktop. Mm-hmm. Other than that, all my other laptops are like broken, like just destroyed. Even my Surface Pro 4, which I did love, that failed on me just out of the blue. And I got that. It was gone for like 3 months to Microsoft, and I got it back, and then I just had a Mac by that point. So, yeah. But yeah, so sold that. But other than that, all my other stuff broke. I know I haven't had this for that long, but I've abused it quite a bit in that time, and it's been good.
Yeah. Back to specs.
Yes.
So we stopped at the processor, 2.3 gigahertz Intel Core i5. Turbo boost up to 3.6, by the way. Memory, we have 8 gigs of 2133 megahertz LPDDR3 RAM. I'm going to go through everything specifics.
I was expecting DDR4. I don't know. The new ones don't have DDR4. The Air does not.
Even the iMac doesn't.
Yeah.
No. So. For graphics, in here we've got our Intel Iris Plus graphics, 640.
No, the iMac did have DDR4. It did. The new Air had DDR3.
No, the iMacs 2017 iMac we looked at in there had DDR3.
Oh, I thought
everything in there had DDR3.
That's surprising.
But yeah, that's that. So that's all the specs here. It's definitely a big jump over that mid 2012.
There's one more big spec that you might have said I missed it, but the screen resolution.
Oh, screen resolution. We did not talk about that. 2560 by 1600
versus 1280 by 800.
Yeah.
Literally double.
Yeah. It's a much better display. This is a lot sharper. I can tell just using it already.
It just looks bigger too. It looks like you have more space.
Oh, it does. Just because the bezels are so thin, it actually feels like it's more screen.
I have to not look at it so I don't get used to that and be like, oh, this looks really terrible now.
Well, that's the thing though. I've had no trouble thinking like that my MacBook Air is that bad, even though I have a 5K iMac.
Yeah. That
I use as well.
Right.
The only time I'd ever noticed it is like if I had my laptop set up next to it, and still never even thought it was that bad.
Yeah. I'm not gonna quite like we were talking about screens too as well. With the 5K iMac, I'm in a debate whether or not to go 4K or like ultra wide with a higher refresh rate. I don't game, so it doesn't make sense. But then you look at like the iPad's display.
It's oh my god!
Today
was the first time I saw the 120 hertz. It's been out for over a year now, like with 120 hertz.
Yeah,
it was the first time iPad Pro with 100. But man, oh man,
it's so good. Insane. Like you instantly pick it up and you're like, well. You immediately notice this is just butter.
As soon as you move it, it's just like, whoa, what?
Yep.
It's so crazy.
I'm still on board for iPads to become like the be all and all. Or not like tablets, but...
It's the Final Cut and the Logic Pro 10s.
And the Final...
Well, actually, no, I mean, we could do... Like what we do for like the main audio recording that we do, we could do in the GarageBand.
Oh yeah, and the main video types, LumaFusion can handle that too. Like realistically, when you look at
even iMovie does a pretty good job on the iPad.
Yep. But then, I mean, LumaFusion, you can get into some advanced transitions, like time warps. I've done some fun stuff with LumaFusion when I was playing around with it.
Yeah.
The biggest drawback for me was getting my files onto the iPad. Like that was the only reason I'm still not using the iPad and LumaFusion, because it was such a pain. Like I had to have like 6 devices or a laptop to then get the audio files onto. It just wasn't was not worth it.
Yeah.
I could have recorded everything to my phone, but then I'm losing quality, like audio wise. So it was just frustrating.
Yeah.
But
so that's the new MacBook Pro. I mean, we'll keep you up to date on all the things that go on with it because I mean I got to use it for a bit.
Yeah. The only complaint I have is that the Apple logo doesn't light up.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest complaint. Very unfortunate.
That's the only complaint though. Other than that,
can't believe Apple would do that.
We were also talking about keyboards. So this has Gen 2.
Yeah, I've been just doing my little things here.
It's a big difference between this, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, huge difference. And I'm still going to be very used to using that because that's the same keyboard I believe is what I use. It's different than that one.
It's different than this, but
it's the same as what my 2015 iMac came with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's little slimmer keys, I think, right?
Yeah, it's slimmer keys, the same as this here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because this came out around the same time as these. This is the keyboard from this generation, basically.
Yeah, because it came out a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the trackpad doesn't.
Yeah, would have been around the same time.
Yeah, around the same time.
So.
Do you have these for the Air?
I actually originally had the keyboard for my iPad 2.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is definitely around that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the iPad 2. So that would have been, I want to say 2009 or 2010 or something like that.
For the iPad 2? Probably. Probably right.
I think the first iPad was 2009. So 2010. Anyway, so that's what I ended up getting that for. And then when I did get my MacBook Air, I wanted to have a setup on my desk. So I also got the trackpad to go along with it. So I had something that was separate from the actual device itself.
Yeah. So that's the big hardware update.
That is the hardware. So exciting.
So, you also want to talk about some Revolt.
Oh yeah. So, as you remember, we were talking about in previous podcasts. So obviously we started talking about the whole RAW thing and how
not the RAW thing,
how I would not be doing that. And then it came along that someone else was organizing a revolt against RAW. So that's what we called it. It was
appropriately
Revolt.
Named.
So this was a whole thing. It was basically the same sort of setup as RAW, except it was a whole much better deal for the artists. I ended up actually not paying in anything.
Yep.
Which was fantastic. I didn't have to pay in anything. I didn't really make anything, but I got a few leads on people that might be interested in some stuff from me.
Yep.
So that's really cool, and we're looking at possibly doing it again sometime in the new year. Not really sure. Could be February, could be March, April, May. Who knows? Might be next November. Again.
Might be able to be a little more prepared by that.
But again, it would be
or advertised at least.
Yeah, exactly. We think we could definitely make it a much bigger event by doing some more advertising and things like that.
Yep.
So we're really excited about where it can lead. But okay, so in terms of everything, I guess that what happened. I guess I got really involved in the organization of it too.
Yep.
Which was really cool. So the venue that it was at was Club One. This is what Raw had booked.
You stole it.
As soon as they canceled, we had it.
You swiggity swootied that right out of them.
Yeah, right up from under them. And like the managers there, they were so cool. They were the best you could.
I've heard that. Like I've heard that place is awesome.
They were so good to deal with. Like there was, I couldn't imagine anything better. Everything that we asked, it was like, yeah, sure, no problem.
So Club One, St. John's.
Club One, St. John's.
Go give them some love.
Yeah, Club One, St. John's. That's also same ownership as Sundance, Dusk, all that stuff where everybody goes anyway.
But I've heard numerous times that Club One is the best place to be.
Their management is so good. Like we were dealing with two different managers. One who kind of was really the one who allowed us to book.
Yep.
Because the girl, Eliza King, Eliza.King on Instagram, go show her some love too because she organized all this. She basically got it all set up. She called the day after it was came out that they had canceled.
Yeah.
She called in Club One and talked to this manager. The manager that she talked to didn't even know that it was canceled yet. Like it was that soon, right? But she wasn't directly dealing with Rob, but she was the one that then allowed us to get it for ourselves. And then we were dealing with the other manager, who I believe was the one that Rob was dealing with.
Yeah.
And both of them were so cool about everything. We were going around every different little thing. We were like, can we move some light? Can we adjust lights around? And like, yeah, here's the ladder. Go for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
So we just climbed up. Me and Eliza, who organized it, we were there for 2 hours the night before. Yeah. Literally just moving lights.
I really wish I could get there. That day, I was in Grand Falls, 5 hours away. I finished up work at 4, and I was like, okay, I could do it. I can get there. And I walked into the mall, and it was snowstorm.
I think you should have done it anyway.
I know, I should have, but
could have been there for 9.
I'm alive still, so at least that's a thing.
Well, you probably would have been anyway.
I don't know, man. I have bad luck with vehicles.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, but
good luck with surviving, though.
That's true. That's very true. Surviving with minor to no injuries, severe car accidents. But yeah. But I don't wish to flip that.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, that's another story.
So yeah, the event, we said, we spent a lot of time there just thinking of things what can we do, how can we set things up and everything. So we spent a lot of time there that night before. we were back there by like middle of the afternoon the next day, getting stuff set up. Like, went around picking up all kinds of different stuff to have the nicest setup we could.
I looked at the Instagram stories; it looked pretty great.
Yeah, there's a highlight on my Instagram, so you can check that out. It's linked below anyway. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can really talk about. There was a bunch of musical acts.
Oh, how'd they go?
They were really good, actually.
Yeah.
The first one was a band who was actually all underage. So they did them first because the way their liquor license works there is they had to be out by a certain time.
Yeah, probably by like 10 o'clock or something.
It was 8:30, actually.
8:30,
they had to be up by 8:30, and so did anyone that was underage. So we were able to do an all-ages thing for them to be able to perform and for their friends to come.
Yep.
That was great. My sister and a couple of our friends came by, so they were able to get in too. So that was really cool for them to be able to access it as well.
Yep.
Around like the 8:30 or so time is probably like about the busiest time there. Like it was actually a good couple hundred people in this spot.
That's awesome.
It was steady. Like you had constantly people coming over and checking out your stuff.
Yep. For as short notice as it was, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was big.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, a lot of people were expecting something to be happening this night anyway.
Yep.
But it would not have been nearly as big. That's what everyone that I talked to, all the other artists that were there, we were all saying like, this would not have been nearly as big if it was organized by Ra.
Yeah, I mean, $20 a head.
It was so much more expensive.
Yeah, people like $5-10, even $10 is pushing it, but like $20 to go to an event. You're
$20 to go to an event where you're gonna buy things.
Yeah,
that was the thing. If this was just like a big concert thing, and
it'd be different. Huge difference.
It'd be different, right? If it was specifically a concert, but where a lot of this event is to specifically buy art.
Yeah.
Right. To see art and buy it. $20 just seemed a bit much.
Yep.
So yeah, it was $5. We're hoping to be able to do it again. We were able to do good ticket sales and stuff like that. Like we made plenty on ticket sales to be able to cover the costs of everything. So it was awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
Really
stuff.
good.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be involved. I'll know when the next one's coming up. I'll be able to.
I will be very much involved. I've made that clear to Eliza again. Like, if we're doing this again, like let me know. Like I'm gonna help out like whatever way I can.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they don't necessarily want to take responsibility, then it's something that we should get involved with.
Yeah, no, I think she's cool to continue organizing, and
she seemed pretty snappy with it, which was great.
Yeah, and there was a couple other people who were also definitely really involved in getting stuff organized. So if we get back in on that, like I think it would be a great event to be a part of again.
So success on the event, success on the MacBook.
Yeah,
two big successes
lately.
Yeah,
and actually that event is when like I felt like I need the MacBook.
Yeah, you were like...
Because I had my camera set up down there to do a little photo booth thing, and I didn't do much, but what I did do, I was all the time, like, when I was trying to, like, move files, and because I wanted to quickly get them out right away to people, it would have been nice to have a faster machine. So this will be really, really good for doing that kind of stuff on the go.
Yep. Cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you'll have to keep us updated on the next podcast, how 2 weeks or 1 week has gone. But we'll see how it all goes.
Obviously, there won't be a whole lot of use in that 1 week, especially where I have my iMac.
Yeah.
But you could definitely expect me to be sitting down and getting this all set up.
It's a new toy. I'm
gonna be playing with it a bit. Yeah.
And Fortnite.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna be seeing how well it runs on this compared to the iMac and versus the MacBook Air.
Yeah.
The Air runs it just barely, but it does run it. You can almost play it.
Yeah, almost. Right? Barely.
The iMac plays it really well now.
Yeah.
Right?
With the new updates.
So I'm expecting this to also play it quite well.
The Mac Pro actually is playing it great. The RAM upgrade.
Yeah.
Like that really did it in.
Yeah.
So. Yep. Awesome.
Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess.
That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we're growing. So that's thanks to everybody who's actually listening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Or watching.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We definitely do get more listens. Funny enough, I kind of actually expected more people to go for like the video and when we're talking about doing
you would
video.
think, but like even the podcasts I watch that I like to actually physically watch, there's lots of episodes where I don't have time, so I just put on my phone and listen to it.
Just listen.
Works.
Yeah,
for sure.
Listening to podcasts is really interesting as well. It's great for driving or just your regular commute, whatever it is.
Yeah, feedback is the next thing. So anybody have any suggestions? Let us know.
Give us some feedback. We want to hear your feedback. What do you think about everything that we're doing? What do you think about the topics?
Yep.
Anything. Just leave us a comment because we want to hear from you.
Yeah. We want to get involved. Anything you guys want to hear?
Obviously, you can't leave comments, I guess, on like Apple Podcasts and stuff like that.
Jump over to YouTube.
Jump over to YouTube, leave a comment, send us a message, anything like that. Our Instagrams and
Any
stuff
questions?
is all linked below. Just get in touch. We want to talk to you. We want to interact with you.
That's our goal.
Yeah,
that's our goal for 2019. Let's build an interactive audience, because that's where it gets fun.
Yeah, well, I guess so. But we definitely want to have fun, interacting with people. Yep. We've had a couple people leave a couple comments on YouTube, and it's like really cool to be able to see that and be able to send a message back. So just let us know your thoughts, and we'll definitely be talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Peace out.
Peace.